This is the new Insta360 Ace Pro 2, and this is the Hollyland Lark M2 wireless receiver, the USB version. Could it really be that simple? If you own an Insta360 camera, I'm sure you're already aware that in order to hook up an external microphone, you need one of these guys, a mic adapter, which has USB-C on one side, a 3.5mm jack on the other side, and you simply plug it into the camera in order to hook up a microphone. But apparently the Ace Pro 2 is the first Insta360 camera which will allow you to plug in a compatible USB-C microphone directly into the camera itself. Now, in the last video I posted, we tested this out using the DJI Mic 2 system, which worked, but there were some limitations. And we also tested a Rode VideoMic Go 2 and a basic USB-C lav mic, neither of which we were able to connect successfully. Now, in the comments from that video, some of you asked about this guy, the Hollyland Lark M2. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at exactly that. We're going to see if it works, if so, how well it works, and what else do you need to know. So it's a pretty short video today, but still I'll place the chapters up here and on the video timeline. But before we get started, the usual disclaimer: this video is not sponsored, paid for, or influenced in any way. I purchased all of the equipment with my own money, and the opinions are entirely my own. And of course, if you enjoy the video, please remember to give us a like and consider subscribing to the channel for a lot more similar content. So let's get on with it. Okay, so I have everything here that I need. I have my Ace Pro 2, I have the Hollyland Lark M2 USB receiver, and I have one of the transmitters here. Now, assuming this works, the installation is going to be pretty straightforward. In order to plug it in, of course, we're going to need to remove the door here or use some kind of adapter. I'm just going to remove the door, put that in a safe place, of course. And then installation is really as simple as just plugging it in. Now, you can place it in either orientation, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on, but let's see what happens. Now you'll see you get this notification that it has detected a USB device and which mode do you want to use. I have found that you don't need to select anything here, just cancel that out with the X. And you will notice that we already have the microphone symbol in the top right of the screen, and also you can see the audio level bar at the top, which is another indicator that an external microphone is connected. Now, I don't want to get too excited at this point because we did see this previously with microphones that did not in fact work, but it is looking pretty good right now, so let's go ahead and take this outside and give it a test. Okay, so let's do a demonstration and see how the Hollyland mic compares to the onboard microphones. So currently I'm talking to you over the onboard microphones of the Ace Pro 2. At this short distance, I'm sure the quality is perfectly fine. But of course, as I get further away from the camera, if I turn away from the camera, I'll turn my back to the camera, obviously you're going to start to lose my voice, and that is where something like the Hollyland microphone comes in. You can see I'm wearing it right now, but I don't yet have the receiver plugged in. Now, one thing I did discover during this testing is you can actually hot swap this. So I can plug in the receiver while I am recording, which I'm going to do right now. It takes a second or two. Appears in the top right of the screen. You can also see the audio level at the top of the screen telling me that the external microphone is connected. So now you're hearing me over the Hollyland microphone. And of course, now if I move away from the camera, if I turn away from the camera, you can still hear me very clearly. Even if I were to stand quite a distance away from the camera, of course, you can still hear me very clearly over the wireless microphone. And in case you were wondering, yes, it works perfectly well either with a single microphone or even two microphones together. Now, one thing I have noticed with the Hollyland is that the relative volume is a little bit low. Right now, I upped the volume in my video editing software to be around the same level as the other volumes. If I place it down to its default out of the camera level, it sounds more like this. So as you can hear, it is extremely low. So I have to boost it using relative volume. Now there is also a setting in the camera to be able to adjust the gain of the external microphone, so let's just try that also. If we go into the settings and scroll over, you'll find there are some microphone settings here. If I tap on that, you can see external microphone is currently enabled. And in the top right here, you can see these sliders. This is where you access the settings for an external microphone. And you'll notice the only setting we have is external microphone gain, which can be set all the way to +9 dB if you need it to be louder, or -18 dB if you need the level to be lower. Okay, so now I have adjusted the external microphone gain to +3, and I still have to adjust the volume slightly to get it to the same level, but hopefully the quality is a little bit better than previously. And one more adjustment, I have now adjusted the external microphone gain up to +6 dB. Let's see what it sounds like, and let's see what the audio. Now, something else worth mentioning, the receiver does have a USB-C input on one of the ends. If the camera is powered off and you plug this in, you will notice after a few seconds the charging lamp does actually come on, so you can actually charge through the Hollyland Lark receiver. However, notice if I power the camera on, it will no longer be charging. So it will only charge the camera when the camera is powered off. So what is the verdict? Well, first off, I will say that it is definitely a positive development from Insta360 that we can now take something like the Hollyland Lark M2 USB receiver, plug it directly into the Ace Pro 2, and it just works. That being said, I wasn't overly impressed with the audio quality. In fact, if you are close to the camera, I would say that the onboard microphones will give you as good, if not slightly better quality than the Hollyland. But of course, if you are in an environment, moving away from the camera, perhaps turning your back on the camera, obviously something like this is going to give you better audio quality, and it's certainly a lot more convenient to something like this, where you have the camera receiver plugged in by an audio cable to the mic adapter. You also have to figure out some way of securing the receiver by using something like this cage, so clearly something like this is a lot more complicated. But of course the big question is, how does the audio quality compare between the two? When using the USB receiver, are you sacrificing audio quality in order to gain convenience? Well, that's not something we're covering in today's video, but it is something I plan on testing in a future video, so be on the lookout for that one also. So that covers it for another video. I hope you enjoyed it and got good information out of it. If so, please remember to give us a like and consider subscribing to the channel for a lot more similar content. If you have any comments, any questions, if you want to share your input, please go ahead and put those into the comments section. Otherwise, thanks for watching.